Italiano goes with a 4-3 formation for tonight's game. In goal is Federico Raviglia. Then we've got João Mario, Torbjorn Hegem, Jon Lukumi and Juan Miranda as a back four. The midfield three are the captain Lewis Ferguson, Remo Freuler and Tommaso Pobega, and the three up front Federico Bernardeschi, Santiago Castro and the Englishman Jonathan Rowe. On the bench for Bologna, the two keepers Massimo Pessina and Matteo Franceschelli. Then we've got Nicolo Moro, Riccardo Orsolini, Nicolo Casale, Nadia Zortea, Jens Odgaard, Simon Sohm, Nicolo Cambiaghi and Francesco Castaldo. Villa go with a 4-2-3-1. Emiliano Martinez is in goal, a back four of Mati Cash, Ezri Konsa, Pau Torres and Luca Dean. An all-Belgian holding two with Amadou Onana and Yuri Tielemans. The three in front of them, the captain John McGinn, Morgan Rogers and Emiliano Buendia, and Ollie Watkins leads the line for Villa. On the bench, two keepers, Marco Bizot and James Wright. Then it's Victor Lindelof, Tyrone Mings, Harvey Elliott, Andres Garcia, Tammy Abraham, Douglas Luiz, Ian Matson, Lamar Bogard and Leon Bailey. Incredible atmosphere in this stadium. It is raucous this evening. Bologna all in, I'd like to call it peppermint green ahead of tonight's game. Not their usual strip, but they're all in peppermint tonight. And it looks as if they will be playing from left to right in this first half. Aston Villa all in black. So I think both sides in their away strips, which is a bit unusual for this contest this evening. Two Scotsmen meeting in the middle. Lewis Ferguson is the captain of Bologna. And John McGinn, his countryman, the captain of Aston Villa. And famous old stadium this. Big running track around it. And this will not be an easy task for Villa. But as I said, they've only met twice in competition. They've won on both occasions, and they'll take that into this game this evening. This is, of course, the first leg. The second leg will be back in Birmingham next week. And before the game gets underway, there is going to be a moment's silence around the stadium in memory of Mircea Lucescu. Very sad story. I mean, Bulgaria didn't qualify for the World Cup. He retired the day after and passed away shortly after that at the age of 80. So he is remembered here tonight. So we're almost ready for action here now, here in Bologna. Great atmosphere inside the ground, these European nights under the lights. And it will be Aston Villa who will be playing from right to left. They will have kick-off in this first half. They'll be looking to get off to a fast start. A sea of navy and red in the stands with the placards that they've left in the seats. It looks quite spectacular. We're underway. Little short pass to the edge of the centre circle, not back to the keeper, which is usually the norm these days. Here's Pau Torres, rolls it all the way back to Emi Martinez, all in bright yellow. The Argentinian keeper just puts his foot on the ball. No press coming in from Bologna, and he just dribbles it to the edge of his area before launching it downfield, trying to find the head of Ollie Watkins. And it's cleared upfield by Lukumi, the Colombian, down this right-hand flank. But Villa managed to tidy that up. Here's Torres, plays it into centre field. Here's Onana being put under big pressure there by Tommaso Pobega. But he gets it back to Martinez. And now Torres with a long ball downfield. McGinn wins the header on halfway. Then Buendia flicks the header down this left-hand side. Now here's Morgan Rogers. He's dispossessed there, though, by Bernardeschi. He sends it back to the keeper. He gets his first touch all in, well, I'd like to say bright orange. Federico Ravaglia. First free kick of the evening. Foul by Luca Dean, coming in there through the back of Lewis Ferguson, the Bologna captain. So it will be a free kick to the Italian side. Rather apt name of the coach, Vincenzo Italiano. And it comes all the way back to Ravaglia. Now out to João Mario, the Portuguese right back on loan. But his ball is intercepted on halfway by Onana. Tries to release Buendia down this left-hand side, and the Argentinian wins a throw-in off the boot of João Mario. Luca Dean takes the throw-in quickly, sends it back to the halfway line to Pau Torres. He squares it across now to the England international, Ezri Konsa, and now Mati Cash. The Polish international, despite being English born and bred. Now back to Martinez on the edge of his own area. He's in no rush as he looks for options. He's not being pressed, as I said, so he's very much taking his time before launching it right down the middle, looking for Watkins, who's tussling away there with Torbjorn Hegem, the Norwegian. But it goes all the way through to Ravaglia. Emery pacing up and down, black cardigan and his tie, shirt and tie, always neatly dressed, the Spaniard. Foul there by Cash on John Lukumi. It's a free kick taken quickly. Here is the Colombian centre-half now, brings it halfway into. It's a very, very cagey and rather slow start to this game. Certainly both teams just feeling each other out at the moment, but it's not got off to a flying start. But Bologna have the ball now down this left-hand side. They floated in to centre field, but the header there from Bernardeschi. The offside flag going up against the Italian. And well, it wasn't Bernardeschi the flag went up for. It was further over on the other side for Castro, Argentinian. It's a free kick to Aston Villa, taken quickly by Martinez. Here's Luca Dean, back to Pau Torres. And now the press does come on, back to Martinez, and then he side foots the ball downfield but goes straight out of play. Not the best there from the Argentinian. So it will be a throw-in for Bologna, just inside the Villa half on this near side. It'll be João Mario take the throw-in. He edges his way down the touchline. Throw goes forward, headed away initially by Onana, then brought down on the chest of Tielemans. But his looped ball upfield is easily intercepted. But that's good work from Onana there, pinching the ball away from Pobega. And he wins a throw-in as well over on that far side. Yeah, well, there was a tug on the shirt there of Amadou Onana by Pobega, so it is going to be a free kick actually. Sandro Sierra, the referee, spotted that. The free kick taken quickly, comes back to Ezri Konsa, rolls it back to Emi Martinez, now Pau Torres. Into centre field to Tielemans. Now Onana. Now Bologna putting on that high press. And roll it back to Martinez once more. So, very cagey start to the competition this evening. Martinez again just taking the ball out of his area before lashing it downfield, but again just sails over the head of Morgan Rogers and goes through to Ravaglia. And that's not the first time we've seen that tonight. They're going to have to be a little bit more productive with those long kicks downfield, otherwise it's just going to be too easy for Bologna to defend. A better side than that Villa. Now here's Remo Freuler, the Swiss international. Long ball down this left-hand side, looking for the Englishman, Jonathan Rowe. He gets inside the box on that left-hand side. He's still in there, gets it to the edge of the area, but they're being pushed out all the time. Now then, ball whipped in by João Mario towards the back post, but it's too much on it. They do get the ball though, Bologna, near the corner flag. Now here's Pobega, rolls it back for Juan Miranda. And then it comes back into centre field now to the feet of Hegem. And then, well, Villa have thwarted that now. They've pushed Bologna all the way back to the halfway line. Clever bit of play there from the Englishman, Jonathan Rowe. Now a lovely crossfield ball looking for João Mario, and Luca Dean leaps highest and heads the ball out for a throw-in for Bologna. On this near side, crowd in full throat this evening, as very animated as Italian crowds get. Throw-in taken by João Mario, gets the ball back and gets away from Buendia. Ball played infield, Ferguson chips it over the top. It's half dealt with, and then the Scotsman came through there and left one on Concert, so it will be a free kick to Villa. Nothing in it really, just he backed into Concert on his follow through and just nudged him over. Villa did appeal earlier. They felt that Rowe had pushed Matty Cash off the ball, and he managed to get into the Villa penalty area on that left hand side. Again, Martinez just constantly faffing around with the ball here, and then he almost gives it away on the edge of his area, puts his hand up. Needs to be better, taking far too much time. And now Buendia loses the ball for Villa inside their own half. Ball out to this right hand side. It's played down the line, and Bologna starting to get a bit of traction in this game now. Ball goes back to Hegem on halfway. Lukumi, edge of the centre circle. Now Hegem, impressed by Watkins, comes out to João Mario on halfway. Ball infield again, passing it around nicely here. Now Bernardeschi, now Lukumi. Jonathan Rowe just peels inside. Now Bernardeschi again chips the ball into the area, headed back across the face of the penalty area, but cleared away downfield by Cash, only up towards the halfway line. And Bologna will come again here with João Mario. There's Lewis Ferguson. He finds Freuler. And now Pobega back infield to Freuler. And again Villa just sitting back in their shape here. Now Ferguson. This is Bernardeschi. Now Lukumi. Playing it across the back line at the moment, happy to keep hold of possession. Here's Lukumi once more, the Colombian, just walking the ball forward, halfway inside the Villa half. Gathered in but here by Ferguson, spreads it out to João Mario on this right-hand side. Cuts in on his left foot, whips the ball in towards the back post, but that's poor. Too much on that. Sails out for a goal kick. 9.5 minutes gone, and the Italian side have certainly dominated possession so far without really creating anything. Villa, they've been a bit disappointing in this opening 9.5 minutes. Goal kick is taken short, comes back to Pau Torres, and then launches it downfield, down this left-hand side, looking for Watkins, who's been tugged at all the time there. Surely that's going to be given us, well, no, the referee hasn't given anything there, but Torbjorn Hegem, the Norwegian, almost pulled the shirt off Ollie Watkins there, but the referee has just deemed that it's a throw-in, taken quickly by Luca Dean. Goes back to the halfway line to Pau Torres. Now to Concert. Now here's Cash. It's all a little bit negative, this, from Villa at the moment. They're not really looking very proactive at all. Back to Martinez on the edge of his area, who will no doubt just faff around with it for a while, like he's doing yet again. He just stands there with it, with his foot on the ball, not really doing anything at all, and then gives a pass that just immediately put Onana under huge pressure. It's poor from Martinez again, really poor. Free kick anyway. McGinn shoving the back there by Miranda on the Villa captain, but they've got to sort that out. It's just taking far too long. Emi Martinez, he's just killing any kind of momentum. He's come back to him again here, and once more he's just put his foot on the ball and he's not really doing much, and then he'll launch it downfield right through the middle, and that's awful. Just goes through everybody all the way through to Ravaglia, and that's just a complete waste yet again. It's an issue for Villa. They've seen very little of the ball inside the Bologna half. The distribution from the back has been woeful from the goalkeeper. Now Lukumi goes back to Ravaglia, who's come out of his area. Now Lukumi once again over on that far left-hand side. Ball infield to Freuler. Now Hegem. He's put under pressure there by Watkins. Just gets away with the pass there in the nick of time. Lukumi. Now Freuler on halfway. 12 minutes gone. Out to Lukumi on this left-hand side. Now he comes forward down this flank. Pobega. Back to Freuler once again. Patient build-up again by Bologna. Comes back to Hegem on halfway. Now João Mario being forced back by Buendia. And it goes all the way back to Ravaglia, who again has the ball at his feet and he's way outside of his area. No press coming in from Villa. Well, 12 and a half minutes gone and it's been pretty tame stuff so far. Bologna definitely the better side so far, but Villa have offered so little at the moment. Here's Hegem. Now Freuler on halfway. Now Lukumi just inside the Villa half on that far left-hand side. Back to Freuler. Now the long ball from the Swiss floats out. It's chested down, but it had gone out of play. Trying to find Bernardeschi. But it was a poor pass from Remo Freuler. So it will be a throw-in for Villa. 13 gone. Luca Dean with the throw. And it's gone backwards. Surprise, surprise to Pau Torres. And here's Konsa, edge of his penalty area, being put under pressure. Has to roll it back to Martinez. Squares it across to Torres. Now Luca Dean. Back to Torres. The pressure mounting here from Bologna. Tielemans. Oh, he almost lost it inside the penalty area there. And now Pau Torres is in trouble here. Finally gets the ball away, but they're just creating their own problems, Villa. But now maybe they can counter here. Buendia absolutely clattered from behind by Lukumi, who's going to get booked by Sandro Scherer. Well, I think as clumsy challenges go, that's right up there in the top 10 by the Colombian. He just two hands out, violently shoved the Argentinian in the back, and over he goes. As that counter-attack was starting to look as if it could be dangerous. And because of that, he will not take to the field in Birmingham next week for the return leg. He will miss that game, the Colombian centre-half. So free kick to Villa, just over 14 minutes gone. Unai Emery, arms folded, looking inscrutable. Just to the side of the centre circle, inside the Bologna half, it'll be Yuri Tielemans. He chips it into the area. Oh, no one's picked up Watkins, but he couldn't get his foot to it. That was woeful defending from Bologna. I mean, that was literally a ball right through the middle, over the top. Nobody had picked up Watkins, who had ghosted in behind them. But the England international just couldn't stretch his leg far enough. And it went straight through to Ravaglia, but that was a big let-off for Bologna from what was really just a simple, straightforward free kick down the middle. And they just watched it go over their heads. And Watkins nipped in behind. It was dreadful defending from the Italians. But they got away with it. First real opportunity that Villa have created. Is that a foul by Onana? Well, the referee says no, but Santiago Castro, the Argentinian striker, has gone down holding his face. The referee has stopped playing momentarily now. Let's just have another look at this. Well, he might have caught the hip of Onana when he jumped up. Oh, he's actually caught the forearm of Onana. But it's one of those, you know, you've got to lift your arms when you're trying to jump high into the air. And those kind of things happen. I genuinely don't think there was anything intentional about it, and the referee has just said play on. So the ball is at the feet of Emi Martinez, who again is taking an absolute eternity to do something with the ball. He's just stood on the edge of his area and he's playing around with it. while everyone else is... Oh, and then he picks it up and then rolls it to the side. It's dull. It's beyond dull. And he needs to get on with it. And again, Villa almost caught on the edge of their own area. Just get rid of the ball, Martinez. Long ball downfield by Luca Dean, but it's gone out of play down this left-hand side. Throw in for Bologna, which João Mario will come across to take. Almost 17 minutes gone. Bologna 0, Aston Villa 0 in this quarter-final first leg in the Europa League. There are, of course, other games taking place as well this evening in this competition and in the Conference League as well. Currently Freiburg of the Bundesliga 1-0 up against Celta Vigo. It's 1-1 between Porto and Nottingham Forest. Of course, we get to see a goal here so far. Here's Lukumi, long clearance downfield, looking for Castro, but he doesn't manage to find it with his head the first time round. Then it's headed forward by Bernardeschi, tidied up by Konsa, and then intercepted. And now Bologna can come forward here. Bernardeschi on this right-hand side, little drop of the shoulder, tried to cross with the outside of his foot. They're claiming it hit the hand of Luca Dean. They've got the ball back here, Bologna. Bernardeschi, left-footed strike from outside the area, goes high over the bar. And now the Bologna players appeal to the referee. Let's have another look at it. No, clearly hit the side of Yuri Tielemans. It was nowhere near his arm. Utterly ridiculous claim. And the referee tells them so. There are also UEFA Conference League fixtures happening as well this evening. One already over. Rayo Vallecano hammering AEK Athens 3-0. Shakhtar Donetsk 0, AZ Alkmaar 0. Crystal Palace and Fiorentina is goalless at the moment, and Mainz are leading Strasbourg by 1-0. Long clearance downfield again by Martinez, and surprise, surprise, it sails out of play. He has been awful tonight with the ball at his feet. Referee is just pushing his Juan Miranda further back, saying you've come too far up the pitch for this throw-in. And Miranda finally, long throw downfield, headed down by Castro. But it's intercepted by Onana. Torres now back to Martinez. And once again, everything just slows down. Short ball to Onana, back to Martinez. And again, Villa here just inviting huge pressure. Konsa squeezed over towards that corner flag. I'm not sure why teams do this. You're just asking for trouble. Onana there with a little shove on Pobega. He's got a little bit salty there. Here's Jonathan Rowe, edge of the box on this left-hand side. Tries the cross. It's blocked by Cash, and it will go out for a throw-in near the corner flag on that far left-hand side. 19.5 minutes gone. Throw-in taken quickly. But Villa pinch the ball. Brilliant work there from Cash, but immediately then gives the ball away. Back to Lukumi on halfway. Now here's Torbjorn Hegem. Lewis Ferguson. So 20 minutes on the clock. Arguably the best chance falling to Villa, which Watkins couldn't get on the end of. But apart from that, the visitors have been pretty awful, I have to say. Bologna have dominated the game. Villa have offered very little so far. And it's not made for a good spectacle. It's pretty turgid stuff at the moment. Here's Lukumi again. It's gone down to walking pace. Has the ball on halfway. Nobody interested in the press. Then he chips the ball down this left-hand side. Brilliantly brought in and then nudged into the area. Shot comes in, but it's a miss-hit from the edge of the 6-yard box. And then Villa don't clear it properly. Then Pobega tries a shot. That's been blocked, but I think by Onana, who's been felled by it. I think it hit him in the unmentionables. Now Bernardeschi cross into the area. Shot comes in. Martinez tips it round the post. It was a volley from Jonathan Rowe into the ground. And as it spat up, it was heading, it looked like into the top right corner. Top left corner, sorry. And Martinez palmed it away. It was actually, it wasn't Rowe, it was Castro. But yeah, Nana here is in a bit of strife. It was a little ball nudged through there by Juan Miranda initially. Then Castro, he fluffed his shot from the edge of the 6-yard box. It was a tight angle. I think he ended up hitting it with both feet. And it was blocked. It went into the back of Pau Torres. Anyway, Anana's back up now, and it will be a corner for Bologna. First one of the evening over on this left-hand side. The usual shenanigans going on in the box. Ball whipped in, punched away by Martinez, and then hacked downfield by Buendia. Back to the halfway line. Here's João Mario. Back it comes to Hegem, halfway inside his own area. Now out to Juan Miranda on this left-hand side. And here's Lukumi. And again, things just slow down. Remo Freuler. Now out to João Mario. That's a good ball down the right channel. Just got to in the nick of time there by Tielemans, and then he was clipped by Pobega, which sends the Belgian international sprawling. So it will be a free kick to Aston Villa. Halfway inside their own half, about 5 yards in from this near touchline. So we're halfway through what's been a pretty uninspiring first half so far. Hoping that things will get better. Martinez has decided that he will come out of his box to take this free kick for Aston Villa, as all the players head upfield. I just hope his delivery is better than it has been so far this evening. Long ball downfield from the Argentinian keeper, but it sails over the head of Morgan Rogers, headed away by Lukumi. But the clearance downfield goes straight to Tielemans. And now here's Konsa on halfway. Back to Tielemans. It comes out to this right-hand side. Matty Cash. But Villa forced all the way back deep inside their own half. And it comes back to Martinez on the edge of his own area. And again, he'll just nudge the ball forward and then stop and have a look around, nudge it forward again, and launches it downfield. This time Watkins wins the header, but then it's headed away by Lukumi and out for a Villa throw on this near side, which Luca Dean will take. Halfway inside the Bologna half. He's going to need more options than what he's got at the moment. He ends up having to throw it backwards to the feet of Pau Torres. 1-2 with Anana. Then the long ball down this left-hand side looking for Digne, but it's headed away by Bologna, but the pressure coming in is too much there from Buendia on João Mario. The referee deems that the Argentinian shoved him in the back, and João Mario goes down. Yeah, clear shove in the back there. It was silly that from Buendia. And the actual volley that into the ground earlier on came from Juan Miranda. It was tipped over the bar by Emi Martinez. That's the best chance Bologna have created so far. Here's Torbjorn Hegem. Long ball up to the halfway line. Digne wins the header, but climbed all over the back there of Castro, but the referee not giving anything. But a rather aimless ball downfield. Goes straight to Hegem, who then launches a long ball up the field. Now Jonathan Rowe wins it. He's got a man to his left. He's edge of the area now. He dinks it to his left. Squared across the edge of the 6-yard box. Oh, has that gone in? It was cleared off the line. Bologna feel that it went over the line. Has it been given? Castro is celebrating. Well, I think it's been given. It was squared across the 6-yard box. I think it came off. I'm not sure Castro knew much about it. It was hacked away by Villa, but the ball had clearly gone over the line. But it was brilliant work from Jonathan Rowe. He nipped in front of Matty Cash, chested it down from that long diagonal ball, playing a high line there, Villa. Kept his composure here, Rowe. Just nudged it to his left, and then the ball came in. That's an own goal. Ball squared across. That's come off Ezri Konsa. It's come off the shin. The cross came in from Castro. It spun off the boot of Ezri Konsa. It was cleared off the line by Cash at the near post, but it was deemed to have gone over the line before Cash could clear it. They're checking it. Oh, it's close, but it is a goal by millimetres. That is, the full ball has to be over the line, and it just about was, and I mean just about. But Bologna have the lead here. Now, maybe this will spark Aston Villa into life, because they've been pretty awful so far, I have to say. So Bologna, well, they're checking it, VAR. I'm not sure if this is for whether it crossed the line, because they've already done that. The referee has made the signal. I think. What's happening now? I'm not sure what's happening now. The referee made the square. Oh, it's been chalked off. The goal has been chalked off. I can only assume. Well, it's all very confusing out there. The referee, then he made the square with his. Oh, I don't know. It's been chalked off. We'll have another look at that. I can only assume maybe was Castro offside. I don't know. When the ball was nudged to his left by Rowe, but that is a big escape for Villa. And now Morgan Rogers is fouled inside the centre circle by Pobega. Again, a little tug on the shirt. And Ferguson involved as well. So free kick for Villa on the halfway line. 0-0. Bologna thought they'd taken the lead. That own goal from Ezri Konsa chalked off by VAR. I can only assume Castro was offside. So free kick taken short. Now Villa have it here with Buendia. It comes out to this right-hand side. Ball whipped into the area. Headed high up in the air by Bernardeschi. Bit of head tennis on the edge of the box and then lashed downfield. And Konsa has to chase it back. He's got Castro on his shoulder. Oh, and Konsa taken too long on it. Ball pinched off him by Rowe. He cuts in, twisting, turning, edge of the box, feeds it in! This time, oh, it's hit the bar! It's hit the bar! It was played across the face of goal. And I think it might have been Hegem. And then there's a foul coming on Dean on the far side. What was Ezri Konsa doing there? Took far too long, dawdling on the ball. Dispossessed, then brilliant from Rowe. And then, oh dear me, hit the underside of the bar. I think Martinez got a hand to it. Pushed it up onto the underside of the bar. Yeah, I'm just going back to the goal ruled out. It was inches, and it was inches offside there, Castro. So tight. That was what ruled the goal out. It was literally the front of his boot. But they've come close again there. Ball hitting the underside of the crossbar. And that was all down to Ezri Konsa just taking far too long on the ball. And he got bullied off it. And Bologna came forward again. Another Villa player down in the centre circle. I think it's Onana. Referee has called a halt to the play. Bologna players are absolutely fuming. And the big Belgian is down again. Well, he just leapt. Well, I really don't see what the issue was there. Anyway, free kick taken quickly. Long ball downfield. It's gathered in by Watkins. He has it on this left-hand side. Finally, Villa seem to have woken up a little here because they've offered. So again, Watkins just wasn't paying attention. Had the ball pinched off him, but they've won it back quickly there. Tielemans then fouled by Freuler. Referee says play advantage. It's getting a little bit spicy out there. Great reverse ball. Villa player goes down in the box. Lukumi is furious, saying that Morgan Rogers took a dive. And all of a sudden, things are getting rather spicy out there on the pitch. It's a brilliant reverse pass down that right channel. And Lukumi, well, he might have clipped his heels there inadvertently, but Rodgers went down. The Colombian, who's already on a yellow card, and yeah, Rodgers has been booked for simulation. Long ball downfield, but they don't deal with that well there. Consa's header just goes straight to a peppermint shirt. And suddenly this game has opened up. This is what it needed. It's been pretty dull for the first 20-25 minutes, and then we had that own goal chalked off, and then Bologna hit the underside of the bar. We've seen a few tasty challenges starting to go in. Now then, Bologna have it inside the area on this left-hand side, but the ball is pinched off them by Cash, and it's launched downfield. But I think the offside flag has gone up again against Santiago Castro. Very frustrated, the Argentinian. And Villa have looked like they've woken up a little bit, but they still haven't really created much at all. Only Watkins has had very little to work with. And they need to be better here, Villa. They've had a couple of warnings. Here's Emi Martinez, launches it downfield again, but surprise, surprise, he goes straight to Lukumi. They're a better team than this, Villa. It's just long ball through the middle, and it never finds Watkins. That's basically been Villa this evening, and they're much better than that. The three behind the one are barely seeing the football. The likes of Buendia, Rodgers and McGinn have been passengers in this game. The game's just bypassing them. It's just long ball stuff from Villa, and it's poor. They are much better than that. Long throw down the left-hand side here for Bologna, and that's a foul by... So it's Castro that's gone down over near the touchline. I think it was Pau Torres. Yeah. Bit of a clumsy challenge, and then a little tug of the shirt for good measure. So free kick to Bologna, about a couple of yards in from the touchline, and about 10 yards away from the corner flag. So it's in a good spot. 33 and a half minutes gone here. The Stadio Renato Dallara. Bologna 0, Aston Villa 0. This is the UEFA Europa League quarter-final first leg. Lewis Ferguson. No, it's going to be Castro. He whips it in, headed away with authority there by Morgan Rodgers. Up to the halfway line. Jonathan Rowe then gathers it in. This is João Mario, and he floats it all the way back to Federico Ravaglia. Now Juan Miranda. Now Freuler, Swiss international, across to João Mario. Then plays it back into the middle of the pitch to Torbjorn Hegem. Now Lukumi. Rowe just nudges it back to Freuler. Now João Mario. Bernadeschi. Well, they're just enjoying keeping possession here, Bologna, knocking it around quite nicely, but not really doing much with it. 34 and a half gone. Just passing it across the back line. Not really what the people have come here to see. And again, they're just going to be forced to go back to the keeper here. Has the ball at his feet, takes his time before passing it to Lukumi, and now Bologna put themselves under a bit of pressure. But that's a good ball across the face of the 18-yard box. But now Hegem being harangued here and harassed by Morgan Rodgers, but he's given the free kick away there, Rodgers. A little tug of the shirt. I think that right hand still heavily bandaged and in a cast. But he got away with that a bit, Hegem, there, because he dawdled on the ball, faffing around with it, and almost had the ball pinched off him. We've seen that from both teams. Just, it's very ponderous at the back. And this is, again, the keeper goes to Hegem, and then he just sends it back to the keeper. Now it comes out to Lukumi, and he cuts infield, gets the ball inside the Villa half, then floats it out to this right-hand side. Brought down neatly by João Mario. He will cut infield, dabs it back to Lewis Ferguson. 36 minutes gone, still 0-0. And it comes back to the halfway line. Torbjorn Hegem. Now John Lukumi. And once again, it's just going side to side here at the moment. It's not very good to watch. Now here's Freuler. actually decides to go forward this time, up through the middle. And chips it out to this right-hand side, but it's poor. Easily intercepted by Digne, who then gives it straight back to Bernardeschi. Tries the ball out to the left-hand side, but that goes straight to Matty Cash. Now here's Pau Torres. Now Luca Dean. And then it comes back into the penalty area. Torres then. Ball up to the halfway line, but again it's poor. They're just bypassing the three creative players behind the centre forward. 58% possession for Bologna. I have to say Villa have been woeful in this first half, but it's still 0-0. It's a two-legged game, and I'm sure it's not the case, but they just look like they've come here to just sit and frustrate and just take a draw and go back to Birmingham next week and get the home advantage, because they've offered so little. But that's a poor clearance by Ravaglia up to the halfway line. It's headed back towards the Bologna goal. Now McGinn, left-footed strike, and it's just missed the near post there. The captain saying there was a touch on that. That was a fantastic effort from John McGinn. It now just grazed the side netting. But there's just not been enough of that. Rodgers is a world-class player, in my opinion. John McGinn is a fantastic player. So is Emi Buendia. They haven't got them into the game. It's bypassing them. Ollie Watkins has had very little to work with. It's just been really poor from Villa. Free kick, though, they have for the foul on Ezri Konsa. And then Santiago Castro, well, it was with the foul, but really overly theatrical dive from Konsa. And then Castro just kicked the ball away. I think he's got away with it this time. So free kick taken. It's rolled back to the feet of Emiliano Martinez, who again just puts his foot on the ball and just slows everything down. Chips the ball again up through the middle, and the offside flag is up. It's really poor, this, from Villa. It's just boring. It's just one long ball up through the middle every time, and it just doesn't stick. And that's this time Watkins stepped offside before coming back over the line. Here's Lukumi has the ball now for Bologna, and again it's gone down to walking football once more. And the game really is drifting down a very dull alley at the moment. It needs something to happen. Miranda, he comes back to Hegem on halfway. 39 minutes gone, still goalless here, although Bologna have had a goal chalked off by VAR. It was an own goal by Ezri Konsa. They've also hit the underside of the crossbar. And again, Hegem chips it back to the keeper, and he's not happy either. He didn't have any options. Very rapidly here, Bologna is sinking to Villa's level. The game has just taken a real nosedive in quality. And it's just, both teams are just passing it around like it's a Sunday afternoon stroll across the back four, and not doing much other than that. Buendia now putting a bit of pressure here on João Mario, and he wins the ball off the Portuguese. Now Tielemans. Now here's Onana. It is getting feisty out there. That's the only thing that is marginally more entertaining than the football at the moment. Here's Tielemans inside the centre circle. Now back to Ezri Konsa. That comes out to Cash on this right-hand side, but again, he's got nowhere to go except back to Konsa, who then rolls it back to Martinez. He swaps passes with Tielemans. Now Pau Torres. Here's Luca Digne. Back to Pau Torres. And again, Villa struggling to get the ball downfield. This time it's brought down by Morgan Rodgers, but it's a heavy touch, and he's dispossessed by Freuler. That's a good ball with the outside of his boot out to this left-hand side to Jonathan Rowe, who's looked really dangerous. Floats a good ball in towards the back post. Last-ditch clearing header there by Digne, and then it's hacked downfield, but not very far. Headed back towards the edge of the Villa box, chested down, and then again a long ball upfield to absolutely nobody. Nobody at all. Miranda trots across to pick it up. Unai Emery cannot be happy with what he's seen. It's been absolutely rotten, this from Villa. 41, just over 41 minutes gone. Throw-in taken, but it's gone to a black shirt. And now then, the tussle is on. They come forward here with Watkins, and he manages to just nudge it to his left, but that's killed the move somewhat, but it's come back to Tielemans. Well, that was a terrible throw from Bologna. He threw it to the wrong guy, threw it straight to Ollie Watkins, who then was tussling to get away from Lewis Ferguson. Now they get the ball down the right-hand side, and they're going to get their first corner, Villa, as McGinn's cross is intercepted by Miranda, who puts it out. And it will be a corner to Aston Villa on this far right-hand side. 0-0, 42 minutes gone here in this Europa League quarter-final first leg. It's been a pretty dour affair so far. Can Villa find something here from this set piece? Ball is whipped in by McGinn. Two Bologna players have gone down, chested down by Onana at the back post, and then he tried to play it back across the 6-yard area. It's gone out for another corner, this time on the left-hand side. The Bologna players are fuming. Well, I'm sorry, but there, Pobega ran into his own player and then dove. So I don't know what he's complaining about there. That's ridiculous. Pobega actually tripped over his own teammate and then flung himself to the floor. The referee has called over the captain, Lewis Ferguson, because he's sick and tired of Santiago Castro mouthing off, so he's pulled Castro over as well, and he's telling Ferguson to keep him under control, otherwise there will be action. Here's Tielemans with the corner. Whips it in towards the back post. Oh, it's a goal! The keeper came out, made a complete mess of it. Ezri Konsa has headed in at the back post. Stunned silence here. And he goes over. Well, that's silly from Konsa. He's gone over to the home fans there, mouthing off. That's not clever. But they take the lead, Villa. Pretty much against the run of play. But, Ravaglia made a complete... He came off his line, missed the punch completely, and Konsa there got away. He was being tugged all over the place by Lukumi, who's on a yellow card, pulling the shirt off Konsa's back, but he had the wherewithal, the England international, to head it in. He got there before him. Onana had been pulled over by Pobega, and Villa have the lead. They don't deserve it, but they have the lead just before half-time. First goal in this European campaign for Ezri Konsa. And again, the referee has players around him. Speaking to the captains again there. It has become a bad-tempered affair, this game. But hopefully that goal might just spark it into life, because it's been pretty turgid stuff, to say the least, so far. It's not really been a spectacle of any kind. Now, well, we're waiting for a ball, believe it or not. Bologna manager is absolutely fuming with his players. It looked like he was raging at them from the side there. And we're about to learn how much added time we're going to get at the end of this first half. 2 minutes. Now, here's Hegem. Bologna 0, Aston Villa 1. Now we're into added time in this first half. Now then, Pobega gets it out to Rowe on this left-hand side. He cuts in field onto his right foot. Edge of the area, tries a shot, but it was blocked by Onana. And now Villa will look to counter here. Watkins coming down. He was waiting for the pass from Morgan Rogers there, who dawdled on the ball and was dispossessed. And then Buendia puts the ball out for a throw-in. So throw into Bologna just inside their own half. Just over a minute remaining. João Mario has the ball. And Freiburg have got a second goal against Celta Vigo. It's still 1-1 between Porto and Nottingham Forest. Of course, 1-0 here to Aston Villa as we now approach half-time. It's a free kick to Bologna, taken quickly from the halfway line, floated downfield, but it will only find Luca Dean. Now Torres, Tielemans, back to Dean, and Villa again, playing it around inside their own 18-yard box, and then finally they launch it up to Watkins, who goes down under a challenge on halfway from Lukemi. Back to Ravaglia. Now Lukumi once again. Freuler back to Ravaglia. Here's Hegem. Yao Mario on halfway, and he's fouled from behind there by Buendia. Free kick taken quickly by Bologna. Floated down this right channel now. Bernardeschi thought he got in round the back. Torres puts it out for a corner. They'll have mere seconds to take this corner if they get the chance. They might just. Yes, they're going to get the chance. Just their second corner of the evening. Referee telling them to get on with it. So corner for Bologna. We're at 17 seconds over the added 2 minutes already. Ball whipped in to that near post. Header goes high up in the air. Another collection of players go down on the deck. Collected by Martinez. That is half-time here at the Stadio Renato Dallara. It's been a pretty awful first 45 minutes. Bologna thought they'd taken the lead with Ezri Konsa with an own goal, but Santiago Castro was a toenail offside. And not long after that, a good save from Emi Martinez, tipping the ball onto the underside of the bar off the boot of Juan Miranda. And then just before half-time, Ezri Konsa getting away from his man. Ravaglia came out, missed the punch, and Konsa headed in at the back post to give Villa a pretty much undeserved lead at half-time. Let's hope it's better in the second 45. We'll be back in 15 minutes for full second half commentary. Half-time here in Bologna. It's Bologna 0, Aston Villa 1. Don't go away. Well, welcome back to the Stadio Renato Dallara for this UEFA Europa League quarter-final first leg between Bologna and Aston Villa. We're back underway here. Villa all in black this evening, and Bologna all in peppermint green, and Villa playing from left to right in this second half. Just played a couple of minutes so far. Villa leading by a goal to nil. That goal just before half-time by Ezri Konsa, and that after Konsa had put through his own net earlier, but it was reprieved by VAR. It was a pretty dour first half, particularly from Villa. Hope to see a little bit more flair from them in this second period. Here's Onana, back to Matty Cash, and now back to Ezri Konsa. Now Emi Martinez, edge of his area. Tielemans, back to Konsa. Press coming in from Bologna. 49 minutes gone, and the visitors having the lead pretty much against the run of play. Bologna weren't great themselves, but they certainly were a lot better than Aston Villa. Martinez again taking forever with the ball at his feet, and then again another awful kick downfield straight to Lukumi, and then it's headed back inside the Villa half, but Rowe can't control the ball there. It goes all the way through back to Martinez. Short ball to Konsa, pressure coming in on him. Here's Cash, now Onana, just to send it back to Martinez, and he launches it downfield again. Flick on header by Morgan Rogers. Watkins being manhandled there by Hegem. Ball downfield, and then Rowe is clattered into by Cash there, and it's left the Englishman on the ground. Referee has said there's going to be a free kick here for Bologna. 50 minutes gone. Yeah, just coming together there. Cash coming in from behind. So free kick to Bologna, just inside the Aston Villa half. Just over 50 minutes gone. Lukumi to Hegem. And now Yao Mario over on that far right-hand side. Freuler with the ball upfield, but it's easily intercepted by Luca Dean. Now, good ball. Nana, he almost found Rogers. Nudged it through the middle of the pitch. He went straight to Lukumi in the end. And then Juan Miranda back to Ravaglia. And Miranda floats a ball across the face of the 18-yard box there, and they've lost possession of it there. Now then, they're inside the area here. Villa, it's 2-0, and it's Ollie Watkins, and that is a calamity for Bologna. It was a floated ball across the width of the 18-yard box by Juan Miranda, and I think it was Hegem who had to chase after the ball. He was dispossessed, and then Ollie Watkins, who barely had a sniff in that first half. And what a start to this second period by Villa. They have a 2-goal lead now, but it was Miranda floated it. It went over the top of Hegem. He had to chase after it, and then he gave the ball away. He passed it straight into the shins of Buendia. The ball fell kindly for Ollie Watkins, who ghosted into the 18-yard box, and from the edge of the 6-yard box, fairly tight angle, and he's nutmegged the keeper, and it's gone in to the bottom right-hand corner. That's an awful goal to concede, but you can put that down to Miranda, and then Hegem, really casual clearance, but that's a fine goal from Watkins. He's taken that very well. But the keeper again, he was pretty much at fault for the first goal, and he's let that one go through a huge gap between his legs. Bologna 0, Aston Villa 2, 52 minutes gone. And, well, they're really up against it now, this Italian side. They're going to have to really throw everything at this now. It is 2 legs, but this is the home leg for them. They need to get something on the board. But again, it's a balancing act. You can't go too gung-ho because you leave yourself open at the back. And Villa, on paper, although the game's never played on paper, by far the better team. They've got the far better squad. And they could really hurt Bologna tonight. despite the fact they were so poor in that first half. But despite all that, they have a 2-goal lead. 2 goals either side of half-time in quick order. Here's Torres. And hopefully that'll open up the game now, because Bologna will have to try and throw everything at this. That will leave opportunities for Villa to hit on the counter. Here's Cash, plays it down the line. Now then, here's Amadou Onana. Infield it comes to John McGinn. Here's Tielemans. Game already much better tempo than the first half. Torres back to Martinez. But now, as I've said that, everything slows down again, because he just stands there with the ball at his feet, waving his hands, but not really doing anything with it. It really is tiresome, this. Just do something with the ball. And he puts his teammate under huge pressure with a poor ball upfield, but McGinn is fouled from behind by Juan Miranda, so it is a free kick for Villa. But it just slows everything down. Good floated ball downfield, though, out to this left-hand side for Luca Digne, but that's well defended by João Mario, whose ball back downfield comes off the head of Tielemans, but they managed to keep it in the field of play. Bit of head tennis. But then Watkins does well to win the ball back for Villa. Here's Tielemans. He's brought down from behind near the centre circle, inside the Bologna half, by his fellow number 8, Remo Freuler. So this will be a free kick for Villa, who lead here by 2-0. 54.5 minutes gone. Tielemans, Belgian international, standing over this. As players camped out on the edge of the penalty area. He floats the ball to the edge of the area, but only finds the head of Hegem, who heads the ball back upfield with a vengeance. Now then, can Bologna come on the counter down this right-hand side? Great sliding tackle there by Emi Buendia on his opposite number 10, Federico Bernardeschi. Will be a throw-in for Bologna on that far right-hand side, just inside the Villa half. João Mario. Just over 55 minutes on the clock. Remember, this is the first leg. The second leg will be next week, back in Birmingham in the UK. Aston Villa. Ball chipped downfield now then. Watkins here, one-on-one with Hegem, but the cavalry has come back. He's done well to hold the ball up. Now then, shot comes in just over the bar from Morgan Rogers on that left-hand side. Well, Villa have shown more in this opening 6 or 7 minutes than they did the entire 45 in that first half. And again, I said we'd see this more often now. Bologna leaving spaces at the back because they know they have to find a goal here. They've got to get something on the board tonight with this home leg, because you just can't see them going to Villa Park and overturning this. I mean, they could, of course, but I just can't see it. So they need to try and get something this evening and try and keep Villa at this 2 goals and not concede another, because that could be really damaging. Pobega puts that one out for a throw-in. Bit of street theatre from Emery inside the technical area there. Arms waving all over the place. Good long throw, chested down by Rogers. Buendia pokes it through into the box. Rogers clattered from behind in the area. Referee was quick to wave off the penalty. It was a clumsy challenge, but Villa have the ball back halfway inside the Bologna half, and you can see this is just starting to spiral out of control now for the home team. Villa have got the tails up here. They frustrated Bologna in that first half, offered very little, pinched that late goal just before half-time, and you just sense that that's completely taken the wind out of the sails. And then Miranda's poor ball across the face of the 18-yard box, and then Hegem's careless pass. Well, if that's not a penalty, I don't know what is. Bernardeschi there, coming in right through the back of Morgan Rogers, and he clips his heels. Yes, it could have been accidental. It probably was, but he clipped his heels. That, for me, should have been a penalty. Anyway, Villa have a free kick. Tielemans standing over it. Again, near the centre circle. Chips it into the penalty area, but it's poor. Right through the middle, and Ravaglia comes out and gathers that near the penalty spot. 58 minutes gone. Bologna 0, Aston Villa 2. Short ball by Ravaglia up to Freuler, and then he sends it out to this right-hand side. João Mario, now Freuler again, back to Mario. Now Hegem. Now Lukumi has the ball on halfway. Just not enough movement from Bologna, and that's a poor ball over down that left channel, and it sails out of play for a goal kick. Poor stuff from the Colombian there. Numerous subs warming up. It's getting to that time where managers might consider freshening things up. I would imagine that Vincenzo Italiano will be the first to blink there when your side are 2-0 down at home. Here's Emi Martinez, launches it downfield once again. Here's Watkins, tussling away again there with Hegem. Gets the better of him. Oh, he almost gets round him, Hegem, and then they both fall in a heap together. Referee says it's a foul by Watkins. He can't believe it. But that's been a real tussle between Ollie Watkins and Torbjorn Hegem all evening. It's Hegem's loose pass, which led to the second goal. Coming up to the hour mark now. Bologna 0, Aston Villa 2. Here's João Mario. Gallops into centre field. Squares it across to John Lukumi. Here's Freuler, edge of the centre circle. Across it comes out now to the captain, Lewis Ferguson. And then, that's a rather clumsy challenge there from Digne. It will be a free kick to Bologna. Yeah, Mario cutting field there, just clattered him from behind. Referee speaking to Emi Buendia about someone. Buendia found something very amusing. He trots back away, chuckling to himself. Anyway, Bologna take the free kick quickly. Here's Freuler on halfway. Now Lukumi. And, now to Jonathan Rowe, cuts in field, tussling away with Cash. Lukumi once again. Now here's Pobega down this left-hand side. He's got space here if he wants to put the cross in, and he does. Floats it towards the back post and calmly headed back into his own keeper's hands by Luca Dean. And Martinez gathers it in gratefully and then waves his players downfield as he walks to the edge of the area, kicks the ball out of his hands downfield, and again Watkins, bit of a heavy touch this time from the England man, and it's gathered in. And Bologna can come at them again now, down this right-hand side. Bernardeschi cuts infield. Now space here for Miranda. Comes out to Rowe, edge of the box on this left-hand side. Works it onto his right foot. Now gets the shot in! Just, it was a curling effort. Just wide of that far right-hand post. He dummied there, made Matty Cash sell himself, and then pulled the trigger. Just couldn't get enough bend on that shot. Not a bad effort from the Englishman, who's been probably Bologna's best player this evening at that end of the field. 61.5 minutes gone. Comfortable position now for Villa, although it's not been a great performance from them. Here's Hegem, tussling again with Watkins. Gets it back to Lukumi. Struggled to get the ball out of his feet for a few seconds there before getting it back to Ravaglia, whose long clearance downfield is not tidied up well there by Conser. It was a weak back pass. Emi Martinez had to rush to the edge of the area to clear it in the nick of time. Buendia's gone down on the halfway line. He's back up on his feet now. Meanwhile, Bologna come down this right-hand side. They seem to have woken up. They know they've got to find something here. Bernardeschi, they doubled up on him there and they've pinched the ball off him. Throws up his arms in frustration. Tielemans chips it upfield. Little flick from Rodgers trying to find John McGinn. But Hegem got there first. Sends it back to Ravaglia, who's way out of his area. Hegem again. Here's João Mario. Game's definitely picked up in pace, and it needed to. And it's become more of an entertaining spectacle now, purely because Bologna need to find a goal. Despite there being another leg, they need to try and find something in this home leg for them to take to Birmingham next week. Certainly can't afford to concede another. That could happen when you're pressing to score yourself. It's opened up the game. Here's Lukumi, brings it down on halfway, the Colombian, and floats it across to Torbjorn Hegem. Brings it down with his chest. Now João Mario on that far right hand side. Villa just sitting in their shape at the moment. Ball floated up towards the edge of the area, not particularly well defended there, and they've held it up well there of Bologna. They still have it. An attempted shot from Freuler takes a huge deflection on its way through to Martinez, who just drops on the ball on the edge of the 6-yard box. 64 minutes gone. Overarm throw out to Digne on that left hand side. Back into the penalty area to Torres. Back to the feet of Martinez. Has to hurry up there. Squared it along the byline to Concert. And then they've lost the ball there, Villa. That was good pressure, but it squirts across and finds Martinez again on the edge of the 6-yard box, but he can't get out here, Villa. Try as they might. Here's Tielemans. Does brilliantly, though. Gets away from João Mario. Turns his man. And then he finds Buendia on the halfway line. Now the counter is on. The little Argentinian, he's been tugged back by the captain, Ferguson. He's going to go into the book. Sorry, it's Pobega. And that's going to be the story of this half. Because Bologna are going to leave themselves open at the back in a desperate bid to try and get a goal back in this game. Villa will take advantage of that. They got great pace up front. And Pobega goes into the box, into the book. It's a free kick again near the centre circle. Again, Tielemans into the area, headed away by Castro, and then finally lumped forward from the edge of the Villa box, but it will only find Tielemans on the edge of the centre circle, and he will just roll it all the way back to Emi Martinez. 65 minutes gone. Martinez then just walks the ball up to the penalty spot. And again, goes through the middle, but again it's poor. Straight to a spearmint shirt, but then they lose possession themselves. Now then, Villa come down through the middle here. Oh, lovely ball by Buendia. What? Oh, that was a poor touch. He was through there, was Watkins. Ollie Watkins. Lovely slide rule ball down that little left channel there. He got through, he got in behind the back four, but it was a heavy touch from Watkins, which just took it away from him. And he'll be very disappointed with that, having got that goal in this second half. He should be doing better there, England international. And that was a let-off for Bologna. And again, the trouble that they face in being open to the counter. Shoved by Rowe in the back of Matty Cash. Referee says that's a free kick. But Ollie Watkins there should have done much better. We're going to get, a couple of substitutes for Bologna. Pobega and Ferguson, the captain, are going to come off. We're going to see Nicolo Moro, the Croatian, and Riccardo Orsolini with the players that come on. I would imagine the captain's armband will go to Remo Freuler. It will be a free kick to Aston Villa. Taken short by Concert. He gets it back off Amadou Onana. 67 minutes gone. I think Castro has come off as well, but just for a change of shirt. He's had a bit of cotton wadding shoved up his nostril. Obviously had a nosebleed onto his shirt. So Bologna temporarily down to 10 men. Long ball down that right channel by Matty Cash, well defended by Freuler. Rowe is dispossessed by Onana on this near side. And the big Belgian works the ball back to the halfway line, but then it's given away by Morgan Rogers. But there is a foul on Buendia. He's gone down clutching his ankle. Another late challenge there by Torbjorn Hegem this time. So it will be, I think, a free kick for Villa. We lead by 2-0. Esri Konsa just before half-time. Header at the back post, and then a combination of Juan Miranda and Torbjorn Hegem. Absolutely comical defending, allowing Ollie Watkins to steal in and nutmeg the keeper from a tight angle to make it 2-0. Long throw coming in here from Cash, level with the edge of the penalty area. In towards that near post, headed down towards the edge of the area, picked up by Tielemans, shot comes in, snatched at it there a bit, did Buendia from the edge of the area. It goes high over the bar. A rueful smile from the Argentinian. The build up to that, Hegem went down clutching his face as he went for a header. Yeah, just a bit of a bobble there as it came through to Buendia. But Hegem is back up on his feet now, and Castro is back on. Now then, Lukumi plays the ball downfield. It's intercepted by Onana on the halfway line, and then Lukumi is rather cynically fouled from behind by Morgan Rogers. 69.5 minutes gone. It will be a free kick to Bologna, taken quickly by Miranda, who gets the ball back off Lukumi and floated up to the halfway line. He can't control the header there, but that's not a great ball through from Buendia, and that's intercepted by Castro. Now it comes out to this right hand side. Castro again, but he loses possession. He's gone down. Well, the referee says it's a foul on the Argentinian. Tielemans can't quite believe that decision. So it will be a free kick to Bologna, halfway inside the Villa half on that right hand side, taken quickly and short. Comes into centre field. Now then, here's Rowe on this left hand side, back to Miranda, and it comes out to Freuler. Miranda again, still have it on this left hand side, ball sent back to Lukumi on halfway. Now here's Moro, finds Rowe on this left hand side. He gets away from Cash into the area. Oh, tried a shot, it's blocked. Breaks for Moro, and then his pass is intercepted, and now Villa can counter here. It's 3-on-3. Ball out to Watkins on this left hand side. He's up against Hegem, twisting, turning. He's forced outside the box. Villa still have it though, comes back into the edge of the area, but now Bologna have got everybody back. Tielemans, they could have made a lot more of that there, Villa. And now it's back on halfway, and the danger is over for the time being. Good ball through the middle, Buendia, now here's Watkins. Now they come forward, Buendia shoots, and it's over the bar from just outside the penalty area. 71.5 minutes gone. Villa trying to put this tie to bed before the second leg. Just inside the semicircle there, Buendia on the edge of the Bologna, but he's just got underneath it, chipped it over the bar. Here's Freuler, long ball down that right channel, but it was intercepted by Digne. Now Tielemans, and that's a clumsy foul from behind there on Buendia by João Mario, who attempts to pick up Buendia. But Buendia not interested, a bit churlish. 72 minutes gone, and it's still 2-0 to Aston Villa. Goals from Esri Konsa and Ollie Watkins, two England internationals. I'm not quite sure why Buendia is still down. He's making a bit of a meal of this. Wasn't that much in it. Well, he's just taken forever to tie his boot. That's what we were waiting for, which is a bit ridiculous, really. Free kick taken quickly. Here's Pau Torres. Back to Consa. Put under pressure by Castro. Good ball through the middle though. Now McGinn. Oh, it was a good ball up through that channel, but no one read it. Lukumi gathers it on the edge of the area, floats it to Miranda. Chipped up to halfway. Rowe with the flick on header, but that's intercepted by Tielemans. And now Villa will come forward again here. They need options. Comes out to McGinn on this right hand side. He cuts in field. Still trying to get McGinn being just hauled to the floor there. It's going to be a free kick by Freuler. Captain on captain. That was silly, that, from Remo Freuler. Just pure frustration. So a free kick halfway inside the Bologna half in centre field. Yuri Tielemans standing over it, but I think Villa, are they going to make a change? No, they're going to wait. Tielemans is not going to take this now. John McGinn. Well, I'm not sure what happened there. He's just kicked the ball out for a goal kick. He chipped the ball down that right-hand side. I don't think anyone knew quite what was going on there. And that was a bit embarrassing, really. Bit of egg on the face of the captain there. Now, Ravaglia. Oh, again, they're trying to play it out from the back here, Bologna. They're just asking for trouble. Here's João Mario. Does do well, though, to get away from Buendia this time. And tries to nutmeg Onana. He's gone through, though. The ball through to Castro. They desperately need a goal. Tries to float it in. It hits Torres and balloons up in the air. And that allows Emi Martinez to gather it on the edge of the 6-yard box. 74.5 minutes gone. Still 2-0 to Aston Villa. And Bologna absolutely desperate to try and get something this evening, because taking this scoreline away from home is going to be a really, really tall order for them. It was good work from Rodgers on halfway to keep hold of the ball there under enormous pressure, but Bologna win the ball back on halfway. Here's Freuler. Now Rowe. And then he comes out to Miranda on this left-hand side. Now Freuler once again. Bernardeschi. Now Freuler. They have the ball on this left-hand side. Rowe with the return ball, but Freuler couldn't get past Onana, who almost gave the ball away there as he cleared it upfield. And then there's a shove in the back of Ollie Watkins there, who's gone down. And again, it's Lukumi. He's got to be careful. He's already on a yellow card. Shove in the back. Still 2-0 to Freiburg, by the way, against Celta Vigo. And Porto and Forest still level at 1 apiece in the other 2 quarter-finals being played this evening. Only 3 being played this evening for some reason. Again, tugging of shirts in the middle of the pitch again. The referee has given the free kick to Villa, who take it quickly. They chip it downfield. Now then, Watkins here against Lukumi. He forces him out to that left-hand side. Here's Buendia. Finally, Bologna get some bodies back. It was looking a little bit dodgy for them at that point. Now then, a shot comes in from Rodgers on the edge of the box, but it went along the floor. And of course, sorry, the other quarter-final tie was played last night, and that was a 1-1 draw between Sporting Braga and Real Betis. So 2-0 Villa lead, 77 minutes on the clock here in Bologna. So far so good. They were woeful in the first half, Villa. Much better in this second period. And Unai Emery will be very happy if they can go back to Birmingham with a clean sheet as well. But Bologna will have something to say about that. Nice ball whipped in by Rowe, but it sails over the head of Castro and into the arms of Martinez. The referee telling the Argentinian to get on with it. Throws it down the pitch, but it goes over the head of McGinn. Straight to Lukumi. Now Rowe has it now on this left-hand side. He's been the fountain of their creativity this evening. Still has the ball. Played up to Freuler. Now Miranda. very much favouring this left-hand side. Now Nicola Moro, the Croatian, picks out Rowe again, down that left channel, tries to get in round Cash, and he will do. Edge of the area, shot comes in, oh, I think it's hit the post from Bernardeschi. Oh, that was a great chance, and again it's Rowe doing the damage. It took a deflection off Tielemans and fell into the path of Federico Bernardeschi. He teed it up, edge of the 6-yard box, and I think, well, let me look at this more closely. Yeah, it grazed the outside of the post. I don't think Martinez got a hand to that. So it is a goal kick to Aston Villa. That was a good opportunity there for Bologna, who I'm sure would take 2-1 at this stage, but now they've got the flick on ball. Now Castro, edge of the area, tries the shot. It's blocked by Konsa. They still have it on this right-hand side, Bologna. Game really opening up now. Left-footed strike is deflected over to this near side. Then edge of the area, shot comes in. It's blocked by Digne. And then the offside flag goes up on the far right-hand side against João Mario. Well, there was a bit of pinball wizard going on in the area there. A few attempted strikes. Bologna having a real dig here. And Villa going to make a change. Amadou Onana will be replaced by the Dutchman, Lamar Bogard. This final 10 minutes or so, Villa still leading by 2-0. And, well, Onana's taking forever to come off here. Bogard comes on. Real like-for-like change there by Unai Emery. So Martinez with this goal kick inside the area. Launches it downfield. 80 minutes gone. Shoving the back there of on Rodgers, but the referee says no case to answer. Ball goes back downfield. Bogard sends it back to Martinez, who has it on the edge of his penalty area and clears it downfield. Little flicked head around the corner by Watkins, but that will be tidied up by Lukumi before Buendia can get interested. And Ravaglia will bring it out of his area. And here's John Lukumi. 80.5 minutes gone. Ball comes infield to Nicola Moro. Now João Mario on this right-hand side. Plays the ball down that right channel. Little 1-2 there. Now here's Castro, full of energy. Out to Rowe. He has it now, edge of the box on this left-hand side. He's given... Oh, and what a strike! And tipped over the bar by Emi Martinez. Jonathan Rowe, he has been outstanding for Bologna tonight. Got the better there, got round John McGinn. Brilliant strike. And then a little fingertip over the bar from Emi Martinez. I don't think it would have gone in. I think it was going over anyway, but he got his fingertips to it. Corner for Bologna on that far right-hand side. They need a goal. 81 minutes gone. Ball whipped in right under the crossbar, and it's easy for Martinez, and that's disappointing. Bologna player has stayed down inside the penalty area. It's Lukumi. And then as Martinez tried to restart the game, the player didn't retreat. Lukumi there, feeling that he got a hand in the face from Matty Cash. Jonathan Rowe just looks so dangerous on this left-hand side. Now Jens Odgaard is going to come on for Santiago Castro. So the Dane replacing the Argentinian in that forward position. Now Emi Martinez has the ball at his feet on the penalty spot, sends it across to Torres. Decides to get the ball downfield. Bypasses, well, Hegem has fouled. Yep, foul on the halfway line there. Norwegian on a torrid time in this second half. Foul there on Buendia. So free kick to Villa, just inside the Bologna half. 82.5 minutes gone. We still lead by 2-0. Pau Torres is appearing to the referee that some of the Bologna players have not retreated the correct distance, but they get on with it anyway. Consa, now Matty Cash. Here's McGinn on this right-hand side, tries to flick it round the corner, straight to Lukumi, and then now Rowe comes forward again on the counter, but it's just a one-man show. He can't get through in the end there, and then tidied up by Consa. Two players went down. Oh, that's a poor ball out from Martinez again, putting his team under huge pressure there. And just consequently, they've won the ball back here. Here comes Odegaard now for Bologna. They have it on the edge of the area on this left-hand side. Here's Rowe. Little back heel, whipped in by Bernardeschi across the face of the 6-yard box. Breaks to this right-hand side. Shot comes in and it's blocked. Bologna still have it. They're turning it on now. Here's Miranda. Left-footed strike. Oh, it's not. Straight at the keeper from 30 yards out. But they're certainly having a dig here because they have to. There's a strike from João Mario. It's into the shoulder there of Pau Torres. And then the shot coming in. Easy save for Emi Martinez. It's a throw into Bologna on that far right-hand side. It comes back to the keeper, Ravaglia. Now here's Lukumi on the edge of the penalty area. Wants to turn. Be careful there. He's done well, though. Turns everybody, gets away, and then he's tugged back near the centre circle. And that got a little bit feisty there. Morgan Rogers has gone into the book. Just too much tuggage going on. He did really well there, Lukumi. Almost got himself into trouble, but managed to wheedle his way out. But they've given the ball away here, and Villa come forward again. Here's McGinn down this right-hand side. Puts the ball into centre field. Nicely guarded there by Tielemans. Now then, space for Rogers on this right-hand side. Edge of the penalty area. Switches it onto his left foot. Nice ball to the back post, but Buendia can't control it before it goes out for a goal kick. I think he might have hyperextended himself there, Buendia, and he's gone down. Reaching for that one. Landed quite heavily, and then he stretched again. Well, he really didn't need to, because there was no way he was keeping that in. But still, 2-0 to Aston Villa. And time ticking away now for Bologna to try and get a much-needed goal back to take to the UK in that second leg. It's not the end of the world if it finishes like this, but it's just going to be a very, very hard task to overturn this away from home. Got to take advantage of your home leg, and they haven't so far. Here's Rowe again, inside the area, tries the shot again, it's blocked by Digne. Comes back out. Now here's Miranda, left-hand side. Now Rowe once again. They're doubling up on him now. He's the danger man. He does get away from Cash. Here's Lukumi in centre field. Nudges it to his left to Moro. Now then, Hegem, Orsolini. 30 yards out here, Bologna. Over on that far right-hand side. The ball goes back to Hegem again. Edge of the centre circle. Now Lukumi. They've got to move the ball more quickly here, Bologna. It's ponderous. Villa are just sitting back in their shape here. Here's Bernardeschi. Comes out to Rowe, but there's just not enough movement in these peppermint shirts. They've got to move the ball around more quickly. This is slightly better. Comes out to this right-hand side. Now João Mario up against Luca Dean. Squares it infield. Then the ball chipped over towards the back post. Too heavy. And it goes out for a goal kick. Disappointment for the home fans. 87 minutes gone. Morgan Rogers has been booked. I'm sure that happened a lot earlier. Anyway, we're going to get a double change. Leon Bailey and Ian Matson are coming on. I think Rogers is going to be one of those players that is going to come off, and the other is Emi Buendia. So Leon Bailey, the Jamaican international, and Ian Matson, the Dutch international, replacing Rogers and Buendia. Matson, of course, is a defender. So Unai Emery just keen to shore things up for these final few minutes, make sure that they get that all-important clean sheet to take back to England for the second leg next week. So, goal kick to Villa, Martinez. Long kick downfield, 88 minutes gone. Villa win the header, but then it falls for Lukumi, who hammers it downfield. The chase is on here. Pau Torres, he almost doesn't deal with it. Ball breaks to the edge of the area. Bologna have it. What can they do with it here now? Here's Moro. Good ball into the area on that right-hand side. Too many touches there from Orsolini. Allowed Villa to pinch the ball off him and break down the left-hand side themselves, but there's nobody up front. It's tidied up by Hegem. Goes back to Ravaglia. Second half has been far more entertaining than a pretty awful first. Purely down to the fact that Bologna have had to chase the game after going 2-0 down. They've only got themselves to blame really for both goals. Poor first goal. Ravaglia came out, missed his punch completely. Cons to the header at the back post, and then an awful ball across the 18-yard box by Juan Miranda, which Hegem had to chase after. He did get to it first, but as he tried to clear it upfield, he just passed it straight to Buendia. He then just fed it back through for Ollie Watkins, who then nutmegged the keeper from the edge of the 6-yard box. Fairly tight angle. Now here's Rowe, gets away from Bailey, into the area again. Right-footed shot, it's in! He's got his reward, and he's deserved it. He has been magnificent tonight. Jonathan Rowe, Bologna 1, Aston Villa 2. That is a huge goal in the context of this game. That is massive. And he's deserved it completely. He's had Matty Cash on toast all evening. He got away from Bailey. And again, as he's done all evening, cracking shot from the edge of the box. This time he got the whip on it, and it's just gone in off the inside of the post. And he's deserved that. He has been brilliant tonight, and that is a huge goal for Bologna. Unai Emery will be fuming about that. And that is a big lifeline for the Italian side. 3 minutes of added time as Villa launched the ball up towards the halfway line. Header flicked on by Watkins, but they lose the ball on halfway. Now Bologna can come on again here. Freuler has come off, by the way, and Cambiaghi has come on in the interim. And Bologna now, they've got their tails up here. Still have it outside on that right-hand side. Foul comes in. Referee gives it. It's going to be a free kick. Orsolini has gone down. He's the third captain of the evening for Bologna. Well, the clumsy challenge from Luca Digne. It's a free kick to Bologna, very close to that far touchline, but almost level with the edge of the 18-yard area. This is a really good opportunity from a set piece here for the Italians to try and find an equaliser. They take it short, got to get it in there. They bring the ball infield. Then a left-footed shot takes a big deflection, just goes past the right-hand post. It was Bernardeschi, but I think it's come off one of his own players. Yes, it has. It hit the back legs there of Nicolo Cambiaghi. Tried to get out of the way. It wrong-footed Martinez, but it went agonisingly wide. Fourth goal of this European campaign, by the way, for Jonathan Rowe. So it's a free kick for Villa. Must have been offside as well, not quite sure, but Martinez takes it outside his area. 2 minutes of the added 3 have already elapsed. Hegem heads the ball out for a throw-in. Bologna 1, Aston Villa 2. Jonathan Rowe has given his side a real lifeline here to take into the second leg, and they deserved it. He in particular deserved it, but Villa still have the ball on this left-hand side, level with the edge of the penalty area. But I think they're just looking to run the clock down. But now they get the ball out to this left-hand side. McGinn, well, he's switched off there. But it is going to be a corner. It's lashed into the advertising hoardings by Lukimi. John McGinn felt that he was tugged down there by the Colombian. So I think this will be pretty much the last action of the game. So Bologna need to be on high alert here. Absolutely imperative they don't concede anything here right at the death, having pulled themselves back into this contest. So corner comes in. Oh, it's Watkins, it's a goal! Oh, nobody picked him up, it went through everybody, and it fell to Watkins on the edge of the 6-yard box. He couldn't believe his luck. He found the ball at his feet, and he just stabbed it home into an open goal. That is an absolute catastrophe for Bologna. Bologna 1, Aston Villa 3. Villa have scored in added time of added time. Second of the evening for Ollie Watkins, and that could be the defining moment of this game. Over the two legs. It was whipped in, went over the top of everyone. Nobody picked Watkins up. He wasn't expecting it to come through to him, and it just landed at his feet. Took a touch and steered it home from 3 yards out past the keeper, who had no chance. Dear, oh dear, that was poor defending again. Miranda didn't see Watkins behind him. He didn't deal with the ball. And that is an absolute hammer blow for the Italians there. Right, that's probably going to be the last kick of the game. And Watkins gets his third goal. That is it. That is the full-time whistle. Aston Villa have won by 3-1 here in Bologna. And wow, what a disappointing end. They just pulled themselves back into this game with that goal from Jonathan Rowe. And in the end, a real sucker punch. In the 94th minute, Ollie Watkins gets his second of the night. Goals on 44 minutes for Ezri Konsa, 51 for Watkins. Then Jonathan Rowe with a well-deserved goal on 90 minutes, pulled Bologna back into it, and then a 94th minute goal from a corner for Ollie Watkins, and Aston Villa go into the second leg with a huge advantage now. It really is a really uphill task for Bologna. So final score here at the Stadio Renato Dallara. It's finished Bologna 1, Aston Villa 3. Villa go to the second leg with a huge advantage. Good night.